Hello there. Welcome to our training on positive guidance through trauma-informed care. Thank you all for being here and taking the time to complete this training. Let's get started. In this training, you will learn how to create goals and objectives that are not only reachable for students, but also play along with their strengths. You will also learn how to foster and grow students' social and emotional well-being by using a balanced approach. Let's look at how to do these. Step 1. Teachers facilitate children in expressing emotions through both verbal and nonverbal means, modeling appropriate ways to communicate feelings while maintaining awareness of trauma-informed care practices. Now, what does this all mean? This means that you, as a student's teacher, will teach them how to properly express their emotions, both verbally and nonverbally, by showing students how to do so. You will be in charge of showing students how to properly manage emotions by managing your own in the classroom, as well as showing students how to manage theirs. For example, if two children are having an argument over a toy they both want, you would go over and model for the students how to communicate to each other and resolve the conflict. You are also in charge of creating this safe environment for students while also incorporating trauma-informed care practices. We'll explain what that means in a bit. Step 2. Teachers utilize effective positive guidance and disciplinary methods grounded in trauma-informed care principles to prevent conflicts and promote age-appropriate interactions. Some of these include making sure children have access to multiple toys that are the same, not having the room overly crowded and students can easily move around, making sure children are safe, and always responding to behaviors consistently while trying not to trigger a trauma response. Step 3. Staff implements conscious discipline to address challenging behaviors, incorporating trauma-informed approaches to assist children in acquiring effective strategies for managing difficulties. What this means is that you are in charge of using conscious discipline techniques when managing children's behavior in the classroom. As always, it is important to use a trauma-informed approach when teaching children how to manage their behaviors or difficulties that they may have. Now, step 4. Classroom rules and behavioral expectations are communicated visually and integrated into daily routines, with a focus on clarity and consistent reinforcement. Teachers collaborate with children to establish rules, fostering a sense of ownership and encouraging self-regulation while being mindful of trauma-sensitive language and practices. For example, when you first start in your classroom, it is important to establish behavior expectations and rules with your students. These need to be on display for students to see and so that you can refer back to them when needed. Create these rules with your students so that they are more likely to follow them since they created them. Guide them in the right direction for creating rules by asking questions geared toward a certain rule you want them to follow. Step 5. Teachers maintain vigilant supervision of the classroom environment to address issues proactively, employing trauma-informed strategies to identify and respond to signs of distress and dysregulation. This step is extremely important in your role as a Head Start teacher. At all times, students need to be monitored. Scan the room to see of any safety concerns, whether it be trip hazards, students fighting, etc. In response to these safety concerns, always respond with a trauma-informed approach. Several different strategies that you can use include teaching coping skills to students, grounding exercises, and creating a safe environment. Step 6. Staff support children in developing social skills by facilitating trauma-informed conflict resolution techniques, nurturing friendships, and promoting empathy toward others' emotions with an understanding of how trauma may impact social interactions. What this means is that you are in charge of helping children in your care develop their social skills through the use of coping skills, grounding techniques, etc. You are also teaching these children how to interact with others, create relationships, friendships, and to have empathy for others. That is, they're able to understand how another person feels when they're sad, hurt, etc. Step 7. Teachers incorporate parental input with sensitivity to potential trauma histories to set realistic expectations for children's behavior and development, fostering collaboration and trust between families and staff. During this step, you are working alongside with families to best serve their children. Parents have an insight into what may or may not work for their children. You can use this to set goals for children while also building trust with families by involving them in the process. Step 8. Engaging activities are provided to captivate children's interest and reduce instances of challenging behavior while being mindful of potential triggers and incorporating trauma-informed approaches to foster feelings of safety and empowerment. What you are doing in this step is providing children with activities that will spark their interest. If you have activities that the students enjoy, this will directly reduce the amount of difficult behaviors in your classroom. Step 9. Classroom layouts and learning environments are designed to encourage children's self-control and autonomy in decision-making, incorporating trauma-informed principles to establish predictability, safety, and empowerment for all children. In your classroom, children should first and foremost have a set routine that they can get used to. This establishes a sense of safety and security for children. By allowing children the choice of centers and not forcing children to be in certain areas, you're also encouraging independence in decision-making. And finally, step 10. Staff are required to consistently adhere to the organization's standards of conduct. If you have any questions regarding what rules and regulations are set for your site, please ask your site supervisor for guidance.